thrifted this flannel sheet for $1, and I'm going to make a robe out of it. Hi, welcome to my eclectic channel. My name is Agnes and I make videos for fun. Last time we finished the main body of the robe. So the next step in the pattern is to create the sleeves. I like that wording. Let there be a sleeve. Didn't work. No, we gotta work on it. The first step is to close the seam on the sleeve. I have 3 hours left in my Saturday. Let's see how long the sleeves take. I think here what I'll do for the seam in following with the side seams of the robe is this is a seam that I will be pressing open and top stitching on either side. Sleeves with finishing and everything took almost an hour. Oops. So now it's time to set them in, and here I managed to always get confused. So I got my robe turned inside out, and then I got my sleeves, and what I'm trying to figure out is, I need to turn my sleeves right side out. And then in theory, we'll check if I put my sleeves in, I'll line up the seam here. When I put my sleeves inside and I have the sleeve cap coming out from the armhole over here, I can check that we are right sides facing, which is what we want. So yeah, you got to put your garment inside out, the sleeves right side out, and you stick them in. And now I just need to pin them all around the armhole. I know we had some notches to help us with the alignment, so I'll be looking for that. And obviously the seams must also line up. I've pinned both sleeves into the armholes, no concerns. The pattern fits exactly right. I'm going to go around one more time with an overlapping stitch. I've pressed my seam allowance towards the body of the robe, and as a last finishing step I am going to top stitch on the side, robe side. The next step is to hem the sleeves, and as I thought, they're way long. I am going to be removing 8 centimeters from what I cut. And then this is a rolled hem, so I'm going to be folding on the wrong side, not as I have it now, but I'll fold it once, 1 centimeter, roll again, and I'll press that and then stitch. The robe itself is done. I mean, everything is, the sleeves are in, everything is all the seams are finished. It's just the accessories, the belt and the pockets. I have an hour left in my Saturday and I'm going to bed. The sleeves on the pattern are way long. This is not even the full length. I already cut off some. Shortening sleeves sounds easy, but if you want your sleeves to hit just right, there's a few simple steps you want to follow. I learned that from my mom. She had 4 children, and she had sleeves to shorten for everyone. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put on your robe and make sure that the shoulders are where they need to be. So center it well, make it so that it's nice, even, and the way it needs to be worn, symmetrical. The shoulders are where they need to be. Now the sleeves are going to fall the way they will. And then you want to hold out your arms and fold where, do a test drive. Fold the sleeve to where it needs to be. So try a few things. Move around, stand in front of the mirror, and make sure that the sleeve is the way you want it to be. Once you have the sleeve that you want, it's time to mark and cut. So you need your seam allowance. And here I have another kimono style robe, and I've seen how they're done. In the pattern, they're calling, and this is actually what I worked here. This is the original. I made it too long because I did not measure correctly. See, in the pattern instructions, they say to fold, do a 1 centimeter seam essentially. Fold 1 centimeter and fold again, and then stitch. But I like wider. I like the wider seams that they do on kimono sleeves. So if you follow the pattern instructions, you would leave a 2 centimeter seam allowance. You would cut with a 2 centimeter seam allowance. I'm going to do 5 because I'm going to do a wide hem on my sleeves. So again, to be 100% clear, you fold the sleeves you need it. This is where you want your sleeve to go, and you add your seam allowance. So I'm going to add 5 centimeter mark here, cut and hem. So I've slept on this quite literally an entire week. I've been using my robe. Because it's finished. The only thing that it's still missing are belt loops and the pockets. Having used it for a week, or even like I figured this out the first night. Two things. One, I'm not going to make the belt because I have another robe that has this pink belt. It just works so beautifully. So this is the only belt I want. If I had more of this pink fabric, I would make a second one. But as it is, I just have this one belt and I can use it for both of my robes. So just super excited about this. So I don't need to make a belt for this. I'm not going to attach the pockets. I don't see how to put them. And I went back to the picture that comes with the pattern. And it looks odd there as well. There is no good place to put the pockets. Simply, there's no room. And I think this is for the smaller sizes. They would overlap. Which one pocket would be in, and then you have the front of the robe that comes, and you have a pocket that's in the middle. It's really weird. So it just doesn't work. The robe looks very nicely. It looks very nice without the pockets. So no pockets. So it's almost done. The only thing I have left to put on then are the belt loops. So the instructions say to tack the belt loops on. That's it. So the rest you gotta figure it out. Mine are those little bits. If you're making them from scratch, you will have little rectangles. So you would need to you would need to fold your little rectangles in half and stitch and then turn them inside out. So mine are already done. Imagine that I stitch my rectangles along the long side and I turn them inside out and I have those little tubes, press them flat. And here's what I figured was the best approach after that. One is to do a couple stitches so that you form them into loops, because they're belt loops. I just did a few hand turns of the wheel. On hindsight, it might be easier to put those few stitches by hand. It's just, this doesn't have to be very strong. It's just to help you hold the loops together. So I've given my loops a good press so that now they lie entirely flat. And I'm ready to put them along the side seam of my robe. I did a final fitting and I marked with a pin where the top of the loops need to go. So they need to go like that along the side seam. And now come the hard part. I'm going to do this by hand. I think by machine would be really hard. I am going to stitch the underside of the loop. So there's my loop here. So the underside of the loop is along the side seam, and I'm going to stitch from the top to the bottom of the loop so that it can lay flat, securely attached to the side seam of the robe, and I will repeat for the loop on the other side. Here is the finished robe. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.